What's up, Zach here, and today I have the play test of the brand new Nike Court Zoom Pro. Now, this is the more budget-friendly model versus the Court Zoom Next. However, a lot of the upper materials and even the outsole tread does seem pretty comparable in terms of the teardown. So let's see how they can play on court. Let's see if they can keep up with the Court Zoom Next. Here we go. Now, the Court Pro, unlike the Court Next, is not very stable side to side. So if you see me trying to go after that volley, normally I just try to plant and really kind of dive myself toward it, whereas in these, kind of felt like I might be rolling over. So I wasn't as confident going for something like that, just trying to get it out and stab, rather just let it go. Yeah, I mean, right now I just kind of feel a little bit awkward in these, especially playing in the mid part of the court, whereas normally I can kind of get myself out of my own way. Even though I do have a little bit of a gut, I can still kind of get my footwork out of the way, and these, still trying to get used to them a little bit. The one thing the Court Pros do is because all the bulk in it is right in front of your heel, it does prop you up on your toes. So it actually does assist you a little bit in keeping on the balls of your foot. If you're someone that really plays off your back foot or just doesn't have that really good up on the balls of your foot footwork, these actually could be a good trainer for someone that really wants to kind of practice getting up on the balls of their foot and staying there. The one thing I do like about the Pros is their closing speed. Going front to back, it is really easy to get from the baseline to the service line and to the net just because of how the outsole and how the midsole is engineered. It's really pushing you forward. So you're someone that does serve and volley a lot and doesn't really need a lot of that side-to-side stability where you think you're gonna roll. These actually can be an asset. Yeah, I'm just really finding I have to measure my steps so much more in these shoes versus something like the Court Next, Vapor Cage 4 GP Turbo, really anything in the Adidas line. These things just really are not stable side to side, and you do feel like you're up on a platform a little bit. You really have to take 2 or 3 extra steps versus what you would have, even if you don't slide, even if you just kind of take a shuffle step to the ball. In these, you actually have to take those extra 2 steps, or else you kind of will start to feel like you're gonna roll. So just remember, these shoes are not for sliders, and they're not for people that really kind of yank their bodies back and forth. They're more for straight line and more for hitting down the middle. But one of the odder parts of the play test was the serve jump height test, because I got an average of 32 centimeters of jump height in these, which is the exact same as the Court Zoom Next, which I think was pretty interesting because this is a much more stripped down model shoe. And I do think begrudgingly it is partially due to that springboard plate here in the middle of the shoe. Even though during the teardown in my head I was kind of thinking it may have been a little bit of a gimmick. However, because it is so long, I do think it does create a lot of a springboard effect, and it does load some decent energy here from the 4-foot zoom unit. And because the arch is a little bit higher in the shoe, you're just kind of sitting up a little bit higher, so it's a little more fluid of a push off. So I think just how the shoe is designed, it gives you a little bit more push off force initially, a little more jump force versus what you think they're going to. But what came at no surprise at all to me was my suicide test time. I came in at 15.06 seconds, which to me anymore is more of a snail's pace. Now, number one, these do have an incredible launch to them. The first step speed is really quick. You can get off the line really well in these. And their straight line speed is really impressive. Number one, because of the rocker and the rear foot, and because of the angle in the forefoot, they are dorsiflex, so you are getting really fluid movement in a straight line, almost like a running shoe. However, in terms of cornering, the uppers just can't hold your foot in. So if you can look at the corners, I'm just pushing right through the shoe, and the lateral flange is not very wide. So I was really taking my time around corners. I didn't want to try to pivot really quick at all. So for as much speed as you can get going straight in these, they're gonna slow you down just as much around corners. So right now, you know, my dad can hear me talk, so he knows that, there he is. So he knows that I'm feeling awkward about my shots in this shoe, and he knows I'm not really comfortable going side to side. So he's just been kind of hitting dink side to side shots and kind of making me get low for these balls and dig for balls. And to his advantage, I'm mishitting them because I'm just so uncomfortable with my footwork. And so a lot of times I'm just trying to hit a winner and get the point over with, and either I'm hitting a really good shot or I'm skying them against the backstop. See, now when I actually use the tools of the shoe, I'm actually playing a little bit better when I'm standing up on the baseline and not letting my dad kind of push me around or get into these back and forth side to side rallies. I'm trying to take control of the point from the first step, getting up on the balls of my foot, pushing him back, and then controlling the point from there. And in these shoes, I can actually do that pretty well. But, you know, bottom line, after getting off court with these and having some time to digest the play test, I do think they do have some use cases. Number one, I think if you're somebody with Achilles pain, especially Achilles pain on the heel bone, which we call insertional Achilles pain, I do think these can be a good shoe to kind of get you on court with, kind of like the starter shoe, and you can kind of graduate to something else after that, just because they take so much pressure off of there. Number two, if you're someone that's a serve and volley or play doubles, and you're looking for a really quick trip to the net, as long as you're not someone that digs back and forth, I do think these can get you to the net pretty quick, and these would serve you pretty well. And number three, I think if you're someone that's really trying to train yourself to get up on the balls of your foot, if you're someone that's maybe gotten a little bit lazy with their footwork or really just want to practice kind of staying up on the balls of your foot, especially if they're split step, I do think these are a good trainer shoe for that. However, I do think if you're looking for a budget shoe, especially in the Nike family, if you're going to go with Nike, maybe just go with the Vapor Lite, because this shoe does have a lot of the same benefits of the Court Zoom Pro, however, much more stable, much wider lateral flange, and if you pop an orthotic in the Vapor Lites, you are kind of getting a lot of the similar characteristics of the Court Pro, just a little bit lighter package, more stable package, and $20 cheaper. And if you are interested in the Nike Vapor Lite, I will leave my performance review linked right here. And if you want to see the fit, weight, specs, and teardown of the Nike Court Zoom Pro, make sure you click into this video right here and subscribe down below. Respect your rubber and foam. I'll see you in the next video.